Gaming setups have become quite popular over the years, to say the least, and there are many iterations that you might have seen here on YouTube or on other social media platforms. From the more high-end setups to the more budget-friendly setups, everyone pretty much has their own take on what their own gaming setup should look like. So today, I wanted to share with you and give you a tour on my current iteration of my gaming setup. Hey, what's going on guys? My name is Dre and thanks so much for actually stopping by to check out this quick tour of my gaming desk setup. Now we're gonna jump straight into it, and to kick this tour off, we're gonna start by talking about the main centerpiece of the setup, and it's of course the desk itself. So the desk that I've been using for this setup is this electronic sit-stand desk from Flexispot. This is the Flexispot E6 sit-stand desk, and I've got it with the white frame and bamboo desktop. And let me just say, there's a lot to like about this desk, with some standout features that have been quite useful for me. Firstly, the setup process for putting the desk together is super easy and pretty straightforward. Everything that was needed to put the desk together came included in the box, and the packaging was pretty excellent. In terms of the time that it took to have the desk fully set up, I would say it would have been maybe a little bit more than 30 minutes, give or take. But because I was filming the entire process, it took me a little more than usual. So definitely bear that in mind. Secondly, quality and design wise, I'm also quite pleased. All the metal components, the cross beams, the frame and legs seem to be made to good standard. And if there's one thing that I have to say about the Flexispot E6 desk, is that it's pretty sturdy. I believe the weight capacity that this desk can carry is up to 350 pounds, which is way more than enough to hold my PC, my console game, laptop, monitors, and whatever else I would want to feature on my desk. Of course, it's going to be dependent on the size of the desk, which Flexispot do carry a wide variety of, with the one that I have measuring around 48 inches in length and about 30 inches in depth. And as you can see, it comfortably fits everything well. The desktop also comes available from Flexispot in a wide variety of finishes for you to choose from. But of course, as you can see, I decided to go with the bamboo desktop, as it is known for being more harder and more robust than most of the more traditional wood, which gives me the comfort knowing that this will last me a really long time. By the way, Flexispot's warranty service is probably one of the longest that I've heard of on the market, with them offering up to 15 years service on all metal and mechanical parts, and a respectable 5-year warranty on their desktops. Now, Flexispot do also offer a bunch of different accessories that can be paired with the sit-stand desk. One of those accessories that I found was extremely useful was their cable management tray, and having this was a huge advantage that really helped to keep the gaming setup clean and neat. I was able to hide away all my cables that were used to power my monitor, my gaming console, along with other items that we're gonna be talking about a little later on. Now, for some, you might need to bear in mind that this cable management tray might be a little too small, especially if you're powering a lot of different pieces of tech on your desk, which at that point, I might recommend you opting for maybe 2 of these cable trays, or probably something a little larger. But for me, this was perfect enough to help me with keeping my cables tucked away nicely. The E6 desk also comes with a really nice control box that gives me the option of having 4 different preset height options. I love how nicely it's also backlit, so even in my more dimly lit rooms in the evening in the studio, I was able to see the different function buttons easily. The motors are nice and quiet, and movement is pretty smooth as well. And a handy feature that I quite liked having is the collision avoidance features, as I sometimes find that I will occasionally tuck my chair under the desk whenever I'm standing and totally forgetting that the chair is there when I'm going back to sitting mode. Absolutely love that feature. Now, I know that most gamers are seated for pretty much really long hours when gaming, and choosing a sit-stand desk is gonna be a subjective situation for some. However, for me personally, I really do love that I've gone with using a sit-stand desk for my gaming setup. And the Flexispot E6 just happens to hit that sweet spot of price to performance ratio. It's a fantastic budget friendly desk that is incredibly sturdy, is way more capable of doing what I need it to do, which makes it pretty much a no-brainer when recommending it for persons who are looking to build their own desk setups. Now, I'll leave links to the details to Flexispot and this E6 standing desk down in the description box if you guys are interested and wanting to know a little bit more. And also, thanks to Flexispot for actually sending this desk out for me to check out and to help with this gaming desk setup. Next is the chair that I mostly use for this setup. And I'm gonna be honest, it's just a standard office chair that I picked up from Amazon. It's really nothing special. It gets the job done, but I would definitely highly recommend getting yourself something a little bit more ergonomic and comfortable, especially if you're one of those gamers who are going to be gaming for long sessions. Take it from me, your back will definitely thank you for that in the long run. Now, let's move on to the things that are actually on the desk. And it's only right that we're gonna start with my gaming console of choice. And that's of course the Sony PS5. Now, this is no top secret. I've always been a console gamer. I tried PC gaming some years ago, but I really never liked it. And I don't know, who's to say? I just might give it another shot again in the future. But for now, the PS5 is where it's at for me. And believe it or not, I've actually had this PS5 since it was launched back in late 2020. So I'm actually coming up on almost 4 years with this console. I mean, it's actually pretty crazy now that I'm thinking about it. It's still a pretty powerful console and has gotten quite a good number of updates over the years since I've had it, which definitely enhanced the entire gaming experience and kept it still pretty relevant altogether. Now, I've made only a few, well, one minor tweak to the PS5 since I actually got it, and that was to add additional storage once I was able to do so, as the internal storage fills up pretty fast with these games, having extremely large files. Now, aside from that, I've kept it fresh and just about the same as the day I took it out the box, and that's because I really do like the clean white look that it has already straight out the box. The new DualSense controller is probably the best part and a huge selling factor for the PS5 with its haptic feedback and adaptive triggers initially, but over the years there's been other fantastic peripheral additions such as the DualSense Edge controller and of course the most recently the VR2 headset and the PlayStation Portal that can now be paired with the PS5. So for me, the PS5 is still gonna be plenty for me when it comes to console gaming. The catalog of quality games has grown quite significantly over the years, which truly showcases the true power of this console. Next is my monitor of choice, and right now I am gonna be honest, I'm using this ultra budget HP monitor for this setup. It's a 24-inch IPS LED display that has a 1080p resolution and a 75 Hz refresh rate and a abysmal 5 milliseconds response time. Now, before you go off on me in the comments, I know this monitor is not the best, especially for gaming with something like my PS5, but I'm actually in the market currently for something that has at least an OLED panel with a resolution of, I don't know, maybe 1440p minimum, preferably 4K, that has a refresh rate that goes up to 120 Hz. So leave me some solid options to check out down in the comments. But for now, I guess this monitor gets the job done. And honestly, it's really not the worst looking monitor. Moving on to the rest of the peripherals on my gaming setup. Firstly, the dock that I use to keep the PS5 DualSense controllers charged is from a brand called Nexigo that I actually found on Amazon. As I said, it's a dual docking station for both my PS5 controllers that I've had for more than 2 years now, and it's been absolutely solid. First off, the dock itself is very sleek and modern in design. I love that the glossy white finish matches my PS5 console and the controllers itself. It's also pretty lightweight, which makes it very easy to travel with if you need to. The LED indicator lights for me are a really nice touch as they let me know when my controllers are charging and also when they're fully charged and ready to use. Overall, I do really highly recommend this Nexigo PS5 controller charger. It's really well designed and very reliable, as I said, and the dual charging feature is probably the major plus for me. Next are my headphones of choice. Now, these are the Philips 9600 MB open back headphones, which are the successors to the original ever so popular 9500s. And I've had these for just about 3 years and absolutely love them. Design and build quality are really good. I definitely love the look of these. It's really lightweight and comfortable to wear, especially for long gaming sessions. They aren't the most premium feeling headphones, but they don't give off cheaply built either, as I've been using these for the better part of that 3 years and they've held up very well. The sound quality is also pretty good, especially for headphones that are just under $100 and can be used for multiple different applications. Now, I've been really enjoying my experiences with these headphones, so much that I've actually put off upgrading to much more expensive audiophile headphones, and I do actually reckon that I might still be using these for some time to come. But holding my 9600 MBs is this Tilted Nation RGB headphone stand. Again, it's a pretty decent product. It does the job as intended while actually keeping the RGB gaming theme going on. So for my speaker setup, I'm using these Razer Nomo RGB gaming speakers. And again, I've had these for quite some time and they've performed really well. Never had any real issues with it at all. I love the RGB lights, of course, and honestly, I wasn't expecting these to sound as good as they do, but they really do sound good, especially with the bass, which can be adjusted with the dedicated bass knob. But the audio quality is certainly more than good enough for gaming. And quickly, just a quick tip here, if you should want to use this speaker with the PS5 and get the best audio quality, do not plug the USB cable from the speaker into the PS5's USB port. The PS5 is gonna read the connection as headphones and the audio is gonna sound extremely low. Instead, what you're gonna do is to use the aux cord from the speakers plugged into your monitor, providing that your monitor has a 3.5mm port. So for my microphone setup, which are the newest additions to my setup, I'm using the Mono PD100X RGB gaming dynamic microphone, which has both XLR and USB connections. Now, I love the overall look and design of this microphone. It feels well built and the sound quality is excellent. It's super versatile and easy to set up. It's obviously a perfect fit for my gaming setup with the awesome RGB lights, but it's also a great mic for streaming and for podcasting. And if you're hoping to somewhat hear what the sound is like coming from this microphone, it's actually what you've been hearing during this portion of the video. So definitely let me know what you think of the sound quality from this microphone down in the comments below. Now, I will be doing a full review on this mic dropping soon on the channel. So first of all, definitely get subscribed. And if you have any questions you want to get answered, also leave those down in the comments so I can ensure to cover it in my full review. Now, to mount my microphone, I'm using the Elgato Wave Mic Arm LP, which is a low profile mic arm that helps to keep my setup super clean and saves a lot of space on my desk. The boom arm is easily movable, which helps to position the mic how I'd want and to also keep the mic out the way when I'm not using it. The integrated cable channels are also a huge design feature that helps with keeping the cables managed nicely and thus keeping the desk just free of cables. But overall, it is a solid boom arm that gets the job done with very, very minimal complaints from me personally. All right, let's quickly talk about the lighting situation in and around my setup. Now, I do have a few lights that I use to help with the vibe and aesthetics of my setup. So firstly, the lights behind my monitor, which are the Govee smart light bars that are pretty immersive in my opinion, just really elevates the entire setup. Now, these lights are bright, they're rich in colors, and the video sync capability is very quick. I really love these lights. They are 100% would recommend if you're looking for a similar experience. My second light is also from Govee. This is the RGB corner floor lamp that just adds ambient lighting around the room, and it does a really great job at that. Now, I think in general, Govee makes some solid, great lights, and these are absolutely no exception. The app works perfectly. They also work really well with Google and Alexa devices, and I personally would easily recommend them to anyone who is looking to, spice up their setup. And lastly are my PlayStation icon lights, which pretty much speaks for itself. I think it's really just a nice decor piece that I think easily integrates into the setup, just adding a touch of style and some fun at the same time. So yeah, that's my gaming setup for 2024. Let me know what you think about it down in the comments. I know it's definitely not the most over the top setup, and I do plan on making some changes to the setup in areas that I think needs upgrading. But for now, I really do like it, and believe it or not, I game here a lot. But thanks for stopping by and checking out this quick tour of my gaming setup. Remember, like and subscribe if you haven't already done so as yet and you want to see more content like this. Either way, again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next upload.